Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the Coliseum finals for October. This month we have Sinkiller, Alarak, Srpss, Suzaku and Nickcool. And we have a slightly different format this month. We're going to do a round robin times 1, normally we do times 2. And then we're going to have a double elimination tournament with the seeding based on the results. And basically each position above 4th in the round robin will give you 1 bye in the double elimination tournament. So 4th will play 5th, and then the winner of that will play 3rd, and the winner of that will play 2nd, and the winner of that will play 1st. And then the losers bracket will obviously be each loser from each round. So the minimum number of matches each player is going to play is going to be 6, and I believe the maximum is around 10. And the finals will be a best of 3 or best of 5, depending on what sort of time it is when we get there. Alright guys, so the first match is going to be Sinkiller versus Suzaku. We're on 2 fuses. My co-caster today is Copycat. Thank you very much, Copycat, for waking up this early. I know it's a little early for you. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I got a good dosage of caffeine. I'm ready to go.
Excellent. What format did you take your caffeine in?
Oh, well, one was a caffeinated protein drink.
Oh.
And I also had a coffee.
It sounds very nice. Caffeinated protein drink, I have to say, sounds pretty disgusting.
Yeah, it's Soylent.
Oh, nice.
All right, so Suzaku brought the chem deck that has been spreading like wildfire.
Yeah, Suzaku really the one who popularized this deck. I would say made it popular on ladder. Everyone just copies Suzaku.
Yeah, and Sinkiller seems to maybe have brought a counter for it.
Yeah, I like Sinkiller's deck a reasonable amount in this matchup. The Orca Bomber is going to be excellent against the Chem Troopers. And obviously the Slingshot is going to be great against the Laser Drones. And that's kind of what this this deck crutches on, is the Laser Drone plus the Chem Warrior to get most of its work done.
Yeah, totally agree. This is a great matchup. See if who can outplay the other person. He's got the Slingshot and Pitbull, so he's probably trying to play around the Phantom. And he's got the Borka to get to clear chems.
Yeah, he's even got the Jump Jet Troopers for the bikes. So yeah, I feel like Sinkiller's deck is pretty well designed to fight what Suzaku's brought. I will say though, the Chem deck, I've noticed, as people who don't know won't know this, but for those of you who've played against this in ladder a lot, you'll know that this is a hyper aggressive deck that basically tries to win first missile. That's why all the units are so cheap apart from Phantom and Chems. You're basically trying to win the first missile, then Catalyst missile your opponent's base.
All right, so their missiles coming down. It's contested. Jump jets are not going to beat the missiles. The Borka here should clear this bottom pad. Suzaku's going to have to get reinforcements there.
Looks like Suzaku's last bike just about survives. This is a big deal for Suzaku because it means that he's holding this pad. It means that he can use this new bike to get a volley off on the Borka instead of having to send it in to tank. Another Borka volley comes down, clears up almost everything. I don't know if these bikes are going to get shots off. Oh, 2 missiles go, take down the Borka. Takes down the Drone Storm as well. Still anybody's missile at the moment, could go either way. This happens a lot on these 2 pad maps where each player just throws units at the pads desperately and it's very hard to block. A boost on the jump jets, takes the left pad. The right pad, Suzaku only sending bikes, and finally Sinkiller takes it with a block with the Jump Jet Troopers, sorry.
Yes.
This, of course, being absolutely critical, because against this Jade deck, if you lose the first missile, they will just kill your base with a Catalyst missile.
Yeah, absolutely. Now he's going to have more Econ, as the Econ is now fully ramped up. We're at 250 into the game, so it'll be easier to get these Borkas out.
Yeah, of course, conversely, Suzaku now has the income to start making his Phantoms to counter the Borkas. So, Sinkiller's sort of powerful early game that was made by getting a Borka out so early is kind of shut down now by this Phantom, and it comes down to micro at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be keeping the Slingshot around the Borkas, and he did not succeed for the Phantom #1. Phantom took down the Borka.
Yeah, I think Sinkiller's probably okay with that trade. That Borka had already done quite a lot of work, so losing it there is probably okay for him. But this second Borka is going to need to do a lot more. It hasn't done much yet. It's killed like a Chem Trooper. It's almost dead now already. Sinkiller can't be too happy with how the second Borka's done, or third, or maybe even fourth Borka. Alright, so
Missiles
we're
coming down. I think we're in for another long contest here.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Per usual.
Both players with air units. Catalyst missile on the Pitbull. So Zinkler
Sick
does
dodge.
not manage to dodge. This Phantom's going to go down, but these chems are beefy, and Sinkiller's pulled his Harvester way too early here, I think. He's completely out of money now. I don't believe he needs this Borka, I think, to clear the pads quickly enough, and he just can't afford it if he's pulled the Harvester. I think given that he's up a missile, he didn't need to commit this hard. Like, he could have lost this missile and still played the game. I mean, obviously losing a missile against Jade is not ideal, but I don't think it would have been game over. And I think not having enough money here is really hurting, because he can't make the jump jet troopers that he desperately needs.
Yeah, he eventually just could not counter the bikes on the field, and now the chems are headed for the base.
Yep, chems go directly towards the base. They get into that position in the concave. Sinkiller boosts his drones, desperately trying to kill off the chem warriors before the explosion, but doesn't get there. Base goes down. Very low now. Sinkiller's in a lot of trouble at this point. Shutting down these phantom attacks is not going to be possible, I think. And yeah, Suzaku goes for the final base kill. This phantom, when it fires, is going to finish off the game. And there it is. Suzaku takes the first game. I think Sinkiller pulled his Harvester a little too early. I think he needed the income. All right, game 2, Nickcool versus Srpss. So Nickcool is bringing Jade. I would not be surprised to see exactly the same deck from Nickcool that we just saw from Suzaku. Srpss bringing Liang. I would very much expect to see Orca Bomber.
Yep.
And my prediction is absolutely correct.
I think that this Srpss deck also has answers to Jade with the Rhino and the Talon. He's got answers for chem troopers. He's got answers for laser drones. It's really gonna come down to, you know, who makes the outplays here, I believe.
I actually think I like Srpss's deck slightly more than Sinkiller's. I think the Borka is one of the best win conditions against this Jade deck. And as everyone knows who's seen Srpss play, he's kind of a Borka master. He tends to always get a Borka out really, really early, like by the first missile, and that's very, very strong against the deck Nickcool is bringing. Also, the Rhino, actually, like, I'm not a big fan of the Rhino, as you people probably know if you watch my stream. But I have to admit, Suzaku told me this, and I wasn't sure it was true, but he says that the Rhino is very good against this Jade deck. And having played some games with Rhino and Buggy, those units are actually very good against the deck. Because they kill all of the infantry, and they do okay against the laser drones. And the main thing is, chems are so beefy, that's what the deck relies on, and Rhino actually is pretty good versus them, so interested to see how this one goes. So we're coming down to the first missile. Srpss gets the block. Very nice block. Takes the first missile with that block. Pretty comfortably as well. And as we said last game, the person who... If Jade wins the missile, it's very hard to win. So big deal for Srpss taking that first missile.
Yeah, the Rhino came in clutch there. Able to stand up against the chems. Even if it doesn't kill them in a reasonable amount of time, it's kind of just okay to trade neutrally and hold them off the pad there. Yeah,
exactly that. The Rhino's not going to lose to the chems. Like, it will win eventually. It forces Nickcool to make a different unit, and it also is tanky enough to survive a couple of bike volleys, which means that it can hold that pad for long enough, and that's how he ended up taking that missile.
I believe now that the Phantom is on the field that Srpss has gone full ground vehicles. He knows that he's basically got a pop cap advantage because that Phantom cannot shoot down.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Using it.
You can see he's just not making... He's only making War Factory units until that Phantom is gone. Nickcool with a desperate Catalyst missile here. Doesn't do enough, and Srpss pretty comfortably takes both missiles. As you can see, the laser drones just aren't very good against GDI War Factory. Like, Pitbull and Rhino both do okay against them, and that really shuts down a lot of the power of this Jade deck, because it really relies on the power of laser drones. All right, here we are with the third game, Suzaku versus Nickcool, and interestingly, Suzaku bringing Kane. Not sure what to make of that. What do you think, Copycat? Why on earth would he play Kane?
I don't know. Maybe for the memes. I don't think this is a particularly good Kane map, is it?
Yeah, this is a... oh, you know what this is? This looks like a Pontiki deck to me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, pretty sure this is a Pontiki deck. Got Tick Tank, it's got the triple air. Pontiki loves the Laser Drone Venom Phantom combo. You see him play that all the time. Normally he plays it with Centurion instead of Tick Tank, but yeah, I've definitely seen Pontiki play Tick Tank Kane. So I think Suzaku, yeah, not sure what to bring here. And is bringing a Pontiki deck.
It's something different at least. I feel like in the end though, this game should come down to the air war.
Yes.
You have Hammerhead versus Phantom and Borka. So it's going to be who win. You know, normally you'd favor the Phantom player in that matchup, but we'll see how it plays out.
I have to agree. I think that the thing is I think the Phantom is favored, but because Suzaku's air to ground is laser drone and not something like Inferno, he actually can have air dominance and still lose to Nickcool's ground units because Pitbull just beats up on laser drones. It's going to come down to like the Tick Tank beating the Pitbulls. And I've just realized Nickcool's deck is Agent Shadow's deck, right? Like this is the classic Agent Shadow ladder deck.
Oh, okay. The sniper.
Yeah, Sniper Borka. Sniper Borka Hammerhead. This is the thing that Agent Shadow plays. So both players bringing basically someone else's signature deck to this one. Alright, so Suzaku has locked down the middle pad with a Tick Tank. Nickcool actually very, very weak to Tick Tank in the early game. His best answer is the Orca Bomber, which he simply doesn't have access to for the first missile. Venom also causes problems for these snipers. So yeah, a lot of Nickcool's early game is shut down by Suzaku's early game. And the fact that Nickcool can't get into his Borka in time is really hurting him. I think Suzaku's in really good shape here. I don't see how Nickcool breaks this one.
He's trying to flank that Pitbull around and get on the right pad, but he's not going to make it in time.
And yeah, just a little bit too slow for those snipers to get there. And Suzaku does take the first missile, and he's just loading up these pads with Tick Tanks. Nickcool obviously goes into Borka. This is only out to these Tick Tanks, really. But yeah, it's not looking good for Nickcool. A Borka, I don't think, will kill a Tick Tank that's burrowed, even in a whole volley. I don't think it's... Let's find out. Looks like it does about half.
For the Harvester. Yeah,
slightly more than
for the
half.
Harvester is the obvious choice in Rivals.
Yep. It does get the Harvester, which is very good for him, actually. Suzaku also takes the Harvester, but that's a lot less important, I think. Nickcool needs the economy for Orca Bombers. Suzaku is fine. He's floating loads. He just isn't building a Harvester.
I think that the Tick Tanks here are a big problem. He's trying to use Pitbulls to counter the Phantoms, and the Tick Tanks are destroying him, basically. Kane comes out.
Here comes the Kane Tower. It doesn't do anything, but yeah, the game is over. Suzaku takes it. He just arcs a Tick Tank on each pad, and Nickcool just isn't capable of beating it. I think Nick really needed to... He needed to either catch Tick Tanks while moving with Borkas, or he needed to, like, build... sorry, he needed to kill them with Missile Troopers for efficiency. But yeah, he wasn't able to do either of those things, and Pontiki deck takes it. Alright, so here we are for our fourth match. First appearance of Alarak in the finals, and sinkiller bringing Solomon. Pretty excited about this. sinkiller often brings Solomon and Kane. We've already seen Kane, and it wasn't even from sinkiller, and now we see Solomon. Long load time on this one. Maybe we have a drop. Let's just make sure both players are actually still in the game. Okay, we're good. What do you make of these decks, Copycat?
Alarak is playing this deck, which he has brought out recently. I don't know if he's the creator, but he definitely has been favoring this deck in recent tournaments and customs. I find it pretty interesting because it's so good once the sandstorms come out. But that being said, I believe Ion Cannon one-shots sandstorms.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know if it needs a direct hit or not. I think it probably does. Alright, Alarak takes an early lead on the first missile. Oh, uses Liang drone to snipe the pads. Totally broken, but you know, what are you gonna do? Easy first missile for Alarak with that against double harvester and with the Liang drone steal. He doesn't have an answer to these jump jets yet though. Here come the snipers. These will protect his harvester. This Alarak deck, like you were saying, yeah, it's pretty powerful once the Sandstorm comes out. Sandstorm Sniper is a very strong combo, but it does not have any, like, it's extremely weak to 2 range units, I've found. Like a 2 range unit protected well against the Orca is often close to game over. But Suzaku, sinkiller, sorry, doesn't have a 2 range unit. He's just going to be relying on his iron cannon.
Yeah, and he is in 2 harvs, so he should have the econ here for his second missile ion cannon. We'll see if he can pull off the tempo play properly.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Sinkiller go for the double half, although it looks like he has all 3 pads here. Here comes an iron cannon. I don't know if it's going to hit anything. It does kill a pitbull. But yeah, he takes the second missile pretty comfortably. Alarak just didn't have enough battlefield presence. I think he committed too hard on trying to kill the harvester, when what he should have been doing was just focusing on winning the missile.
Yeah, that's pretty much Rivals in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. The Sinkiller, I'm not sure why he's double half. I assume it's just so he can use iron cannon lots. But yeah, very rare to see.
He's pulled his harv now on both missiles. So he's like, the one harv is probably barely paid off at this point. It's been harvesting about half the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because he's not all in on having an expensive unit, he feels that he doesn't need the second harvester to be harvesting all the time. But it is definitely a weird play, and looks like he's going to snipe this harvester here. No, he goes for the pibble instead.
Think that ion cannon was too soon. I don't think the timing is going to work out here where he's going to have it for this missile.
Yeah, that iron cannon killed almost nothing, and now the missile's coming down, and he just doesn't have any money for the iron cannon or the cooldown anymore. Although he does have all 3 pads. Alarak takes down these drones from just in time. Pitbull's gonna beat this harvester, but it's gonna take a while. These double Pitbull's gonna beat this Orca. Again, it's gonna be in time. Here come jump jets though. These are gonna be a problem for Alarak. He's overcommitted on Pitbulls. He's got quadruple Pitbull against 2 jump jets and a missile. This is really bad for Alarak. I think he's done here. I don't think he has time to kill these. Oh, the Liang drone steal comes down. Sinkiller retargets. Snipers get on that pad, but too late. And Sinkiller takes it with all the pads. All right. Congratulations, Sinkiller. Massive overcommitment on Pitbulls there by Alarak. He knew that far left back pad was held by missiles. He should have been looking to get at least 1 sniper squad to kill that. Alright, here we go with Alarak versus Nickcool. We've got a Liang mirror. Nickcool has the whale skin, which Alarak doesn't. And I believe Nickcool also has the whale emotes, which Alarak doesn't. So hopefully we'll see some of them come out.
Nickcool absolutely has the whale emotes.
Yeah, he for sure. Like I was saying, I was hedging my bets, but yeah, let's be real. Nickcool definitely has them all.
We'll have to see if he has healing hands or not, or just pad stealing hands.
All right, so Nickcool has a triple tech mammoth deck. Alarak playing his sniper sandstorm again. So Alarak switched into the Borka for this game, which is interesting. It's actually going to be pretty helpful that he switched into Borka because there's no way he could beat a mammoth tank with his old deck. Nickcool, I think, is still, if we get it to tech, then Nickcool is still favored. I don't see how Alarak realistically beats a mammoth tank plus a sandstorm. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Sandstorm's pretty slow. Maybe he can do it.
The sandstorm also has the OP hover on this map. You got some pools.
But both players have the sandstorms, so that's not an advantage for anyone really. Interestingly,
it will shut. I was thinking the sandstorm is going to shut down the Borka potentially. Yeah,
that's what Nickcool's going to be looking to do. Both players with snipers. Alarak has dogs, however. Alarak goes for the pads. Sorry, Nickcool goes for the pad steal. Alarak retaliates with his own pad steal. But Nickcool is using missiles to hold his pad, so that doesn't work. And I think Nickcool's in pretty good shape here. And Nickcool does take the first missile. This is very bad for Alarak, I think. Nickcool's deck is significantly better late game. I have no idea why Alarak went double harvester. His late game is just sandstorm. Like, the chances of that being stronger than your opponent's late game is very slim. Maybe it's so he can spam Orca bombers. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Orca bombers are actually not that good versus Zone Trooper or Sandstorm.
Like, well, he apparently is trying to pop cap him here because he just bombed his own dogs and then left the units on his Harv.
Kind of messed it up though. Also messed up his micro on the double Borka, sent in one before it reloaded and manages to lose the one that was firing. Snipers to clean up these zone troopers. They're not going to be that quick at it. And missiles to fight this sandstorm.
This is where he can make the outplay. So he got the sandstorm to fire onto his missiles, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, sandstorm really like just annihilates Orca Bomber. Like it kills it in one volley. It takes a whole Borka volley to kill a sandstorm. And most of the time you can't do it. And that single missile trooper that Alarak left alive is now holding this top pad. Kind of punished for leaving that alive. Wow, and Nickcool takes it pretty comfortably with his tech units. Alright, so we've got Suzaku on Kane. I suspect we'll see the Tic Tank deck again. And Srpss playing Liang, probably going to be his Rhino Pitbull Orca Bomber deck.
I find in Coliseum people usually tend to play comfort.
Yes, I've noticed this as well. People tend to play deck. Well, I mean, I don't think this is a comfort deck for Suzaku, but yeah, definitely. I don't know if he's picking this deck because of the maps or if he's just picking this deck because.
Really, this is playing against Suzaku. This is the time when it's just insane for me. He's so good in the early game rifle militant mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
He almost always wins them. The Rhino is a good response though.
Yeah, I think Srpss maybe doesn't even want to engage in the rifle militant war because, like you say, Suzaku's probably the best early game player in the game. Like in Rivals, I think he plays the first sort of minute better than anyone else. Oh, his Tic Tank just about sneaks onto the pad. I think Srpss should have gone for a block there. Suzaku moves onto all three pads. Another Tic Tank. Is he going to be able to hold this top pad long enough? He is, and Suzaku takes the first missile reasonably comfortably, I'd say. The militant mirror, Suzaku just knew that his militants were going to live long enough in that mirror to fire that missile. And he parks a second Tic Tank. So now Srpss is going to have to try and find a way to clean these Tic Tanks up.
I think this comes down to if you can chip damage them with the missiles, then the Borka can finish them.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see.
I think Srpss is making better plays against the Tic Tanks. I think this is what you have to do, is use the missiles to get the chip damage in, the efficient chip damage. If you let missiles just straight up fight a Tic Tank 1v1, they'll do a pretty good job even if the Tic Tank's burrowed, but it takes a long time. And Suzaku has to respond with the Venom whenever there's a missile trooper, basically.
Fortunately, he didn't get the Talon on the Venom there.
Yeah.
But these Tic Tanks should both die to this Borka volley. He did a great job getting them chipped down so his Borka could finish them off.
Yeah, Srpss doing a much better job, I think, against these Tic Tanks than in the previous game we saw. However, you can also see how much it's costing him. His economy is really kind of ruined by how much he's having to spend on killing these Tic Tanks. But, you know, if you win the missile, it doesn't matter. And again, another sneaky Liang drone. Once again, seeing the balance of Liang take another missile.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I don't think he's healed anything this game.
No, hang on, he's healing that Talon on the way past.
Okay.
I think this is the first time we've seen Liang drone used to heal something in the entire series, in fact. I think Liang has only been used for pad steals up until now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, it did heal a Sandstorm a little bit in that Nickcool matchup.
Sure, before stealing a pad, right? Alright, so Srpss is getting the chip damage in on these Tic Tanks. This is how you beat them, honestly. This is how you deal with them. You need to ensure that you can keep chipping them down with missiles, because it's the only efficient way to do it. And then when they're low, you can use Borka to finish them. If you can catch one while it's moving, then that's really good. You can get a Borka to kill it. But wow, Suzaku just absolutely spamming these Tic Tanks. And I think Srpss really needs his Borka now. Here it comes. I don't know if it's going to be soon enough. Suzaku's on all the pads. Borka's not going to kill this Tic Tank in time. And wow, the Liang steal comes in a second too late. And Suzaku takes it. 2-0 with the Tic Tank deck. Alright, here we go. Alarak versus Srpss. Srpss on Liang again. Would fully expect him to be playing exactly the same deck. This is his best deck. Alarak now playing Oksana, so hopefully we see him play Fnatic Aggro, which is his best deck. I know Alarak regularly avoids playing Fnatic Aggro in these tournaments because he thinks people are going to counter him, but I think he overthinks it too much. I think most people are just going to bring their best deck and not try and counter him. So I think he should just be bringing his best deck as well. Hopefully that's what we see here.
And it is.
And it is. Alarak.
I think this is a decent map for Fnatic Aggro, but it is a little bit... it does better on more open maps than this. There is some lanes that he might struggle with. I
think Fnatic Aggro wants to be on reasonably closed maps actually, because then you get Fnatic boosts constantly. But yeah, it needs like I think it wants pads close together but less choke points, so that Scorpions can maneuver, but also so everything fights in one location. I think that's really Fnatic Aggro's ideal. Having said that, Fnatic's
like Rorschach and Rorschach and open water are kind of like its best maps ideally, but
I think that, yeah, those are good maps for it, but they're also really good maps for its natural predators. So, tell you what, the Srpss normally doesn't play sniper, so I think this sniper actually is to counter Alarak's Fanatics, because normally Srpss would play rifles instead. So Alarak maybe does get a little bit countered here. Sniper's being very good against Fanatics. Well, as the old, as the old adage says, the best counter to sniper is Scorpion tank, and that is actually true. Like, one of the best counters to snipers is in fact just Scorpion tanks, because snipers can't kill them, and they do respectable infantry damage.
Yeah, I think regardless of the snipers, he has to make the Fanatics here. It's really the key to the deck, but
yeah,
maybe he just thinks he can't get through the front lines in time. The snipers are just going to eat him up economically.
It's such a difficult map because snipers are really good here. That might be the other reason. It might be why Srpss brought snipers, simply because it's such a good sniper map. And Alarak simply can't push in with these Fanatics, which he needs to do if he wants to kill these missiles. So I think Alarak got outdecked a little bit on this one. And he goes for a Phantom. Phantom kills the Liang drone steal. Very nice. Is he going to be in time to take the missile? It looks like he is. Very heads up. Oh, no, hang on. The Borka flips. Ah, absolute nightmare for Alarak there. I thought he was going to take it with the heads up play, having an answer to the Liang drone steal. But unfortunately, Orca Bomber comes in and cleans up the world. Alright, so we've got Nickcool taking on sinkiller, our two Asia players this time. Both players playing Oksana, interestingly. Nothing spicy from sinkiller here. And I don't think we're going to see a triple deck tech deck from Nickcool either.
3, 2, 1. New objective received.
Well, you thought wrong.
What is Nick doing? Okay, interesting.
You also thought wrong about sinkiller, because that's pretty spicy as well.
Yeah, these are some pretty... Why? I mean, a stealth tank Scorpion deck? This is very surreal. Sinkiller opens laser drones, which I actually like a lot against Nod. It's very hard. Like, if you have laser drone and Venom, it's very hard for your Nod opponent to have a good answer to that in the early game. So, Nickcool opens lasers to defend, but a Venom from sinkiller will shut these down pretty easily if he wants to.
I think he almost baited out the double laser response here, because now the Fanatics kind of have free roam. They'll clear these very easily, or you can just use them to kill the harvester.
Here comes a chemical buggy to take care of that business. I think sinkiller should have stuck with air. I mean, look at Nick's deck. Nick has rifle, laser, chem. If you make only laser drones and venoms, Nickcool cannot possibly win. Like, the early game is just, there's just no way Nick can win, because Venom beats laser, and that's the only thing he has that shoots up.
Hopefully he doesn't have the audio on.
Yeah. Yeah. The sinkiller comes out with another Venom, just about in time, takes that left pad. Here comes some laser drones to clean up this chem. Oh wow, the Venom cleans up the chem buggy, no problem. Sinkiller looks like he's pretty easily going to take the first missile. He does take it, but now Nickcool has Cyborg already. And Cyborgs are very good against Venoms now. I think they almost one-shot them due to the burst fire that they now have. Out comes a Basilisk.
probably got to get fanatics, but now he's got to. He doesn't have air to air, so this is the. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, Basilisk will go down to stealth tanks, but Sinkiller has no money, so I don't know what his game plan is against these cyborgs.
I think he's doing the thing that wins rivals, harvester.
Killing the harvester, yeah. But I mean, he's so far behind right now. He needs the fanatics, but then he also needs a stealth tank to kill this Basilisk, right? And this Basilisk is just chewing up everything.
He has chipped it down pretty well with the scavenger, and he does kill it. But
I mean,
no
he's so far behind right now. He just doesn't. He can't get on these pads. And Nickcool takes the second missile. And if you take second missile as a tech deck, you're probably gonna win the game.
Yeah, and
now,
you see the second missile firing at 240. So Econ is now maxed, and even with one harvester, you can get your tech units out pretty readily.
Yeah. I actually feel like Nick maybe should have rebuilt his harvester, because if he just makes tech units, there's no way Sinkiller can win, I think.
Yeah, agree. For some reason, Sinkiller has made a second harvester.
Yeah,
Nickcool hasn't rebuilt his.
Wants to spam stealth tank. Boosted stealth tank goes in, doesn't quite finish off that Basilisk. A boosted Basilisk will go down to a stealth tank, but not an unboosted one. Stealth tank comes back in. Can it finish the Basilisk? Just about finishes it before it goes down. If Sinkiller just spams Fanatics here, he's in good shape. He's going to need answers to this chemical buggy, though. Wow, those Fanatics absolutely melt. Sinkiller pulls... Oh, pardon me. Sinkiller pulls a Harvester. Doesn't have anything on the... He pulls both Harvesters. Here comes a new Basilisk. Sinkiller needs to take this missile now before the Basilisk gets there. Boosted Basilisk is going to die to that stealth tank. And it does go down instantly. And Nickcool just has nothing. And Sinkiller takes it with the double combat Harvester. What a game.
That was the call, that not going second harv.
Yeah.
He just did not have the money to make multiple tech units, or really any tech units with support.
Alright, here we are with Sinkiller versus Srpss, and we have a Liang Mirror. Srpss, I think we can assume, is going to be bringing basically the same deck. All he's done so far is switch once to snipers from rifles. Sinkiller, I have absolutely no idea what he's going to be playing. He's a wild card. He could be playing almost anything. Okay, so Srpss is playing exactly the same deck. Back to the rifles as well. This is not really a good sniper map. And Sinkiller is playing a 2-2-2 deck. This time, it's very similar to the first deck he played, but this time he has Mohawk instead of Orca Bomber. So very interested to see what Sinkiller's plan is. He opens with his air tower first and goes Mohawk as his first unit. That's kind of insane.
It's a bold strategy.
Yeah, Srpss immediately responds with Missile Troopers. Sinkiller goes Talon, but obviously Talon isn't actually going to beat missiles, so... Yeah, Sinkiller's going to need to switch into his barracks pretty soon. Yeah, immediately goes barracks, rifles. He is getting pushed off the map, though.
Yeah, that generally happens when you open air.
Yeah. The Sinkiller desperately making a play for these two bottom pads. Sends the Mohawk top. Oh, here comes the Liang drone. There's a Talon defending, so that'll easily clean that up. And it looks like that's going to be first missile for Sinkiller. Alright, nicely done, Sinkiller. This is how you beat Liang Steel, by the way. You just have a unit that can kill the drone on the pad. And then it's less of an issue.
He could have put Liang on bottom right there instead of,
Yeah.
Once you see the Talon there, you don't need to suicide the unit into it.
Yeah, small misplay from Srpss. You shouldn't have made a Liang drone or a pad that had a Talon. The Sinkiller makes the slingshot to clean up these two Talons.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
I believe this single jump jet trooper will die before the harvester does. Okay, he does pull it. Does also Liang drone. The Liang drone almost out heals the pitbull there.
I think is this Stonewall? This is a pretty bad map for a slingshot.
Yeah, it is. It's not a good two-ranger map.
It's just having to move around a lot. It's not getting where it needs to be, to the air units very readily.
SRPSS is playing Talon in this game as well, which has ended up being pretty instrumental, giving him a little bit extra anti-air for those Mohawks and for Sinkiller's Talons. Pretty good control of all the pads here. I think these missiles should lose to this Talon. They do. Sinkiller has both bottom pads again. SRPSS is a little bit slow on this Talon. Just about gets there in time, but does not win the missile. And Sinkiller takes 2-0. Very, I suspect a lot of SRPSS fans out there are very surprised to see SRPSS at 2-2.
All giants must fall.
Last game of the round robin, Suzaku versus Alarak. This one will determine who the seeding. If Suzaku wins this, he'll be first seed, and therefore get 3 buys for the finals, effectively. Alarak looking to win this one. Actually, Alarak just looking to win it to stop Suzaku from necessarily being first seed. Because he's guaranteed bot. Oh, hang on. He could beat Nickcool on breakers if he wins this. So yeah, but even then, the first match of the double elimination is going to be Alarak versus Nickcool. Even if Alarak does win this, so it's kind of whatever.
Suzaku has brought a strange deck.
Yeah, Suzaku has Basilisk Splash for some reason instead of Phantom. It's the normal Jade deck, but he's playing Basilisk instead of Phantom. That's a very strange choice. It's going to be really good against Alarak's deck. Alarak can't beat a Basilisk, but why would you? I mean, like, I guess he's predicted. Alarak has played this deck 2 out of 3 games so far, so I guess Suzaku was predicting it again. And he's come up roses. But the Harvester pull to hold the other pad. Very nice Liang from Alarak. Takes the first missile pretty comfortably.
And Suzaku totally conceded the missile there.
Yep.
But he had lost basically all the pads matchups.
Yeah, I mean when you're double harvester, you normally just have to concede the first missile anyway.
Oh, I didn't even notice he went 2 halves.
Yeah,
so
he wants to
splash.
No, he's gonna go Basilisk spam. Which is going to be interesting. I mean, I don't see... Alarak has 0 units in his deck that can beat a Basilisk, so it's going to be really difficult for him to win once these Basilisks start coming out. Alarak goes second Harvester here, which again I think is very strange, because Sandstorm is unlikely to beat whatever your opponent's double Harvester unit is. And in this case it won't. Sandstorm will not beat a Basilisk. So Alarak conceding a pop cap to be able to pump out units that aren't even going to be good in the matchup just doesn't seem worth it at all.
I think he really just needs to spam lasers here.
Yeah, I agree. Agreed. He needs to spam missile troopers. But these pop caps, he's had to pull a harvester to put on the top left because he doesn't have enough pop cap. And I think if he just had missiles up there instead of having an extra harvester, cap missile, does he dodge?
Sick dodge!
He didn't dodge it. It just does no damage to harvesters.
Oh, he didn't.
And Suzaku takes it. Oh, sorry, Alarak takes it. With that harvester,
right. It did hit it.
If that harvester had just been a missile troop, Alarak would have won that game significantly easier. Alright, here we are with the first game of the double elimination bracket. This is 4th seed Nickcool playing against 5th seed Alarak. The winner of this will move on to face SRPSS, and the loser will go to the first match in the losers bracket.
This is what I feel like is a pretty good map for Alarak if he's playing his favorite deck, which he probably is.
Yeah, this is Alarak's favorite map and probably playing his favorite deck. He is playing his favorite deck. Nickcool again going with the triple tech. Not sure what Nickcool's doing here. But yeah,
I think Alarak knows that tech can be good on this map, and he has gone straight to the pad charge.
Yeah, Alarak does that every game, but yeah. It definitely is more relevant on a map like Rorschach, where tech can be very powerful.
Building online. Unit ready.
Alarak goes for the bikes to harass. Nickcool goes to full pads. I think this is a correct play by Nickcool. Losing his harvester doesn't actually matter that much, but delaying the missile matters a lot. The 2 wheels clean up those missiles very quickly though. And then Nick goes to defend his harvester. Here comes the Liang drone to stall. Doesn't do a great job of it, though. Only stores a little bit. Fnatic's going to kill these missiles pretty easily. First missile goes very easily to Alarak.
Yeah, you really need to get like a 10-second stall or more out of that Liang drone for it to be worth it.
Yep. And he got, what, 0?
I think
maybe
he got
like
about
1.
0.
1 or 2 seconds, maybe. Alarak moves in towards the harvesters again. Two missile squads and a sniper, though. This is very good against Alarak's deck, the missile sniper combo.
Unit lost.
Alarak does get double boosted tank to go after those snipers. You can see he kills one of the sniper models. That is very relevant. That significantly reduces the DPS those snipers are going to put out.
Unit lost.
And he's doing a very good job here. We're half charged.
Yeah, he's just focusing on the missiles, which is what you're supposed to do. And once again, the tank goes on those harvesters and takes out another model. And these snipers are just completely negated by this tank. First tech unit comes out. It is a zone trooper. The Yang drone goes to stall, but the backpad is bikes, so it does nothing. And yeah, Alarak just blocks him out, and the first tech unit is too late. And that's a classic example of how to beat tech. The first missile, the tech just doesn't get there in time.
Yeah, you really need to just delay. And I personally believe playing tech, it's better to not go, too hard straight up.
Establishing battlefield control.
All right, so we got a Liang mirror, Alarak and SRPSS both on Liang. I suspect we'll see a similar deck from before from SRPSS.
I wonder if Alarak has brought his Sandstorm deck as well. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's a weird deck. I don't really like it, but Alarak has been playing it quite a lot lately in tournaments.
3, 2, 1. New objective.
And he does. This time with Orca instead of Borka, and SRPSS playing... Once again, he's playing the snipers. I don't think snipers are especially amazing on this map, so maybe maybe SRPSS just brings snipers against Alarak because he's expecting Fanatics and wants to be more powerful against them.
I really like Alarak's deck variant here. I don't believe he had rhinos in it before.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the rhinos. It used to be dogs, I think. It used to be dog sniper. Yeah, it used to be dog sniper.
It's gonna be good against the snipers.
Yeah, the rhino. Yeah, rhino is actually going to be pretty good for him because it kills. You can move in against missile troopers and also ignore snipers, which has been one of his biggest issues in previous games. Has been inability to push into missile trooper sniper combo. Of course, the Pitbull is going to shut that down, but yeah, Pitbull is not going to kill a rhino that quickly. Like Pitbull DPS is pretty low.
He does need to get something on those snipers if he can, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
Yeah, the rhino supporting this Pitbull war is not doing a lot of work.
Unit lost.
Alarak goes into missiles, but these snipers and this double Pitbull has got him locked up. Oh, there's Liang steal to buy some time. SRPSS responds to his own Liang, not to steal though, actually to heal.
Unit lost.
And Alarak loses the missile pretty comfortably. SRPSS, all 3 pads, has good matchups across the board. Not looking good for Alarak here. Definitely struggling with these snipers.
Ready.
It's tough to... The Rhino, I think, is maybe just too slow. It can't really get around blockers to do anything to a sniper.
I think the Rhino is fine. I think the job of the Rhino is to be able to kill the missiles in front of the snipers and to generally negate them. Because snipers just aren't good versus Rhino. So it means your anti-infantry isn't reliant on having your own infantry in play. I think if Alarak can set up combination of Rhino frontline with Orca to protect, then he's in really good shape. Because the Rhinos will kill Talons as well pretty easily. So if he can set up Rhinos in front with Orcas behind to kill incoming Pitbulls, I think he would be in good shape. Unfortunately, the missile is coming down now. I don't think he has time to set up such a combo.
The Rhino does live through that Orca bomber, though.
And as you can see, the Rhino is actually doing pretty good damage to these air units. Alarak pulls the Rhino to go to the 3rd missile. I mean, it's okay. I think I would have preferred him to leave it where it was doing work. But he does take down those missiles, so maybe it works out for him. It does work out for him. He does take that missile. Very nice play from Alarak there. The Rhino really paying dividends in this game for him. Actually, it's the unsung hero.
The unsung hero. I never thought I would have heard you say that about a Rhino.
Yeah, I think we've just weirdly entered a metagame where Rhino and Buggy aren't terrible anymore because, like, tank play rates are at the lowest they've ever been.
Unit ready.
And that is what makes Rhino and Pit Buggy so bad, is that everyone plays Scorpion. But I think Scorpion play rate is down to like 30%. It's the lowest it's ever been at, and Predator is also at the lowest ever, at less than like 20%. So yeah, I think this might be the time for Rhino and Buggy to shine. You can see this Sandstorm is not able to move onto this pad because SRPSS is using the Pitbull to block it. He's doing the sneaky block where you move on and off the pad very quickly. And Alarak just doesn't make units quickly enough. I don't think he's going to get on these pads. He needs Liangrone to steal, but... Wow, I think Alarak really messed that one up.
Blocked the Liangrone steal.
I think Alarak really... Like, there was a big period where he wasn't making units, and he lost the middle pad because of it. And I think he could have had that. Alright, so Alarak takes on Nickcool in the first elimination match. The loser of this will be the 5th place Coliseum participant. Nickcool is bringing the Jade deck from Ladder, and Alarak is bringing Fnatic Aggro. I think I'd favor Nickcool in this one. The Jade deck is super good versus Nod. Oh wow, Laser Drone Rush.
You how you knew before we loaded in, and I realized that they told you.
Yeah, both players have submitted deck lists. Alright, so Alarak sees the rush coming, goes for lasers immediately. I think Nick is supposed to just make a Harvester here. Wow, he goes for the rifles. Whose deck is favored in a no-half game, do you think?
I think the laser drones, I would favor the laser drones.
Yeah, I agree. Also, like, Militant's better than Fanatics in a no-half game, I think. So yeah, I'd favor Nick. Okay, so Alarak also would favor Nick in a no-half game and goes for his Harvester. I think it's a really good choice by Alarak. He knows he's going to lose in the long run if neither player makes a Harvester. Alright, Nick sees the Harvester. Instead of going all out on no-half, decides to make his own Harvester. Also probably a good decision. So a little bit delayed on the Harvesters, but now we are starting the game. Although the missile is half charged already.
Yeah, and Alarak had about a 30 tip lead, so we'll see if he can.
Don't know if he can he get on this top pad in time. He does. Oh, he goes for the boost. Sneaks on that pad just in time. Lasers take the top left. All right, Alarak does take that missile with some savvy play, moving those lasers over and moving the Fanatics onto the top right.
And this is the point where Alarak's deck really can struggle is Chem Warriors. Chem Warrior laser drone combo here.
Yep.
He needs to get multiple Fanatics set up, which he's working on.
Honestly, even without the laser drones, it's really tough for Alarak. Chem Warriors beat Wheels 1v1. It can be really difficult to just beat Chem Warriors at all with this Fnatic aggro deck. Nick makes a big misplay here, walking into the boosted Fanatics. They are gonna tear up those Chems. Yeah, those Fanatics easily kill the Chems 1v1 if they're boosted and on defense.
I think it's a pretty big unknown that Fanatics are actually a very defensive unit.
Yeah.
Benefit hugely from defenders' advantage.
They do. They have the ramp up, right? Which like Fanatics and Confessors have this weird mechanic where the longer they've been shooting, the faster they shoot. So it only goes up to a certain point, but they do ramp up. And Nickcool manages to lose that one. Alarak just used OP Fanatics to kill everything pretty much.
Yeah, you really gotta go. You got to be very careful about walking into Fanatics, especially boosted ones.
Okay, Sinkiller taking on SRPSS in the winners bracket. The loser of this will face Alarak in the losers bracket. And SRPSS bringing Oksana for the first time today. His other comfort deck is Marauder Chuggy. So I suspect maybe we'll see that. No, we don't. What is this? I've never seen this deck from SRPSS. A 2/4 deck.
Yeah, this is interesting. And Sinkiller has brought the Alicia Destiny deck.
He has the Alicia Destiny not aggro, which basically
I think she gets that deck name right.
Yeah, it's basically just like a normal Nod deck, but you play. It's much more mid-range. It's much more powerful late-game deck, but you don't play lasers, which leaves you very weak. If you get behind in a game, it's very hard to catch back up because you don't have lasers. and you are very weak to things like laser drones because you don't have lasers.
Unit offline.
He does get the early tank out though. It's doing some work against these
I
bikes.
love the Coliseum, they're nothing like it in Rivals World.
Thanks, Paul.
Unit ready.
So I suspect Srpss has brought this deck because Orbit is such a spread out map. He doesn't feel comfortable bringing a Borka. Borka not great on this map. Srpss boosts his lasers and gets Kembuggy to take out these Fanatics. And takes the first missile just. The Fanatics on the bottom left don't quite kill the missile troops in time. But it's very, very close. The sinkiller does take the first hit.
This is also a map that's not great for like the Fnatic tank combo either because it's
Yeah,
so spread out. You can't
that's
keep
true.
your units together.
Yeah, I feel like Srpss's deck slightly more in this matchup. Also, I mean, there's only 2 people in the world who play this Alicia Destiny deck regularly, and it's Alicia Destiny and that SAD guy. So yeah.
The S9 guy. You're
Yeah.
right. It's a tricky deck. I don't think that I think Sinkiller is not being economical enough with his unit decisions
I agree.
here.
The deck
he's not
relies
getting-
on.
It relies heavily on the Inferno in the mid-late game, and
does.
he's just making tanks and not getting favorable trades.
It also relies heavily on the power of combining your units together. Like you get ahead in money by using all your units together to get efficient trades, and then you can make the Infernos. The Sinkiller is using his units kind of individually, which is normally how you play a not aggro deck, but is not how you play the Alicia deck, and it's hurting him a little bit because he does not have the money to make those Infernos. And Srpss has pretty good control of 2 of these pads. I don't see how Sinkiller gets back onto them. And he does not. So Srpss takes it. Srpss advances to the winner's bracket finals against Suzaku. And Sinkiller drops to the loser's bracket where he will play Alarak. Alright, here we are with the second elimination match in the loser's bracket. Alarak taking on Sinkiller. The loser of this comes 4th in the Coliseum.
By the way, I hope Alarak, the super mega fanatic abuser, loses. No offense, Alarak, still love your gaming.
Paul with the savage cheer, hoping that Alarak loses. Oh, sorry, he actually hopes he loses because he put two O's in there.
What a loser!
What a got him. All right, so Sinkiller has brought. Sinkiller, Alarak does bring.
Loser.
Yeah. Alarak does bring Fnatic aggro. Sinkiller brings a 4 War Factory sniper deck. I gotta say, man, I like Sinkiller's deck a lot in this matchup. Predators can beat Scorpions, Snipers can beat Fanatics. It's gonna come down to whether or not Alarak can win. The thing is that the boosted Scorpions will beat Predators, so that's what this matchup's gonna come down to. But it's so hard to get any value out of Fanatics against Snipers. So yeah, it's going to be harder for Alarak. Normally, if you're playing against Predators, the way to win is to use Scorpions boosted by Fanatics. But you still need to get some value out of your Fanatics. If they're just suiciding for a boost, it's often not worth it. So Sinkiller does...
Alarak can pull off the play. Now, he's just stacking tanks. He's not going into Fanatics. Maybe he doesn't... Maybe he thinks he doesn't need them if he just has more tank.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ahead in tanks, you don't need to go into the Fanatics. Which is shown here, the 2v1 on the tanks. Sinkiller goes into missiles, but they're a little late to the party. Oh, this Liang drone is a little late as well. Doesn't really do much. Goes for the steal, classic Liang. Buys some time. These 2 tanks are super low. If Sinkiller can kill one of these tanks, maybe. He's going for the free pads. Doesn't get in there. Alarak with the block. Here comes this Liang steal. It looks like it's going to take it. And the Liang steal does take it. The most balanced ability in the game.
Where's that
Once
new
again.
emote, chat? We need more of that new emote. Hashtag balance.
Not live yet. Sadly. But yeah, there you see, once again, Liang drone, uber balanced. I mean, it's on Alarak, right? He could have made some bikes instead of only tanks, maybe. But yeah, I'm not suggesting that Liang is okay. It's obviously ridiculous.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be able
What
to
Alarak is
hold pads,
really,
right?
really perfected is this double boosted Scorpion can shoot the Predator before the Predator gets lock on.
Yes, we're not seeing
It's
it here.
kind of insane.
I'm surprised that Alarak finally goes for the boost on the tank. I'm surprised he didn't do that way sooner. Alarak has so much money. I don't know what he's like saving for. I would have expected him use like spew that boost much sooner because of how much money he has. I don't think he can get on these pads. He does sneak onto the pads just about. But these fanatics are going to go down to snipers. And then, oh wow, sinkiller moves the dogs. I think moving these dogs is a huge misplay. He could have used those dogs to block the fanatics. Fanatics get on. Fanatics need to go mid. It's too late. Ah, and Alarak does not manage it. And sinkiller takes it, meaning Alarak is 4th place in this Coliseum. Okay, here we are with the Coliseum winner bracket final. The winner of this will advance to the grand finals, which will be best of 5. And it is Suzaku taking on Srpss. This is 1st seed versus 3rd seed. And Suzaku is bringing the thick tanks again. Srpss bringing an Orca Bomber deck, but this time he's cut the Rhino for the Mohawk, which I assume is because of the thick tanks. He predicted, like, Suzaku's been playing the thick tanks a lot this tournament. And here we see the annoying block again from Srpss. Suzaku's simply not capable of getting close to those missiles.
Manages to only kill one model.
Yeah. That block is super annoying. I actually think that that block is, like, the way that works is too much, and that should not be in the game. But I don't know how you would fix that without also removing, like, pad blocking, which I think is quite an important aspect of the game. A little bit of miss micro there.
I mean, it's manipulating pad blocking, and not many people actually do it very well. So
yeah, it is difficult to pull off, and it is very micro intensive as well. Like, you can't do that whilst doing anything else, pretty much. Like, you have to basically invest all your time into that block, the same as with a pad block. So yeah, it is kind of like, it's kind of like a what am I trying to say here? It's like an action sink, right? Like, it taxes your opponent's actions as well, because then they have to spend a lot of time trying to get onto the pad. So here comes the first thick tank. Thick tank is not going to be in time to clear this pad, but oh, this Venom does sneak on pretty happily. This is looking pretty good for Suzaku. Srpss responds with Talon Spam. Talon Spam is going to clean up everything here. Suzaku with the Phantom is going to clean up this Talon. He needs this missile to live long enough so he can move the Phantom. It does. He only uses 2 missiles as well, which is very nice. Allows him to finish off this Talon. Huge play there. Huge play by Suzaku. The fact that Talon was very slightly damaged, and he was able to use that single laser trooper to finish off both Talons, effectively doubled the DPS of his Phantom there. Absolutely enormous play by Suzaku to win that missile. So
I was going to say, the early game, he was really struggling with the Venoms to get them on the sniper, but eventually it came down to the pad, and he had to have the sniper, you know, he had... So the Venoms were able to clear the sniper once it came down to the missile charge time.
And that is one of the biggest problems with snipers, right? Is that at some point in the game you have to put something on pads. One of those units is probably going to be a sniper, and it's going to get annihilated. And that's always been one of the big issues with snipers. So the Mohawk does start taking care of this thick tank. Doing a pretty good job here. The Pitbull, I don't know if the Pitbull should even go in. It's just getting slaughtered here. Mohawks definitely look like they're in here to deal with tick tanks, but they're struggling to get through these Phantoms. And here comes an Obelisk, which is going to kill that Pitbull. The long-range Pitbull kill.
This is an interesting how he's basically taking the ground away.
Yeah, he's just trying to play air only. Here comes the Obelisk. He's going to kill this one missile trooper here. Wow, Suzaku chooses to go to the 3rd pad with this Venom instead of killing the missile troopers. Interesting choice. So the missile troopers on the bottom, Suzaku has bad matchups everywhere. He's going to lose all 3 pads. The only one that's okay is the top one where he's stalling. And he does lose the missile pretty easily due to that mismatch on all 3 pads.
Yep,
that Kane Tower really did nothing.
Srpss got the matchups he wanted, and eventually it got him the missile. I think the Phantom not one-shotting the Mohawk there is critical.
Yes, absolutely. The fact the Phantom isn't one-shotting the Mohawk is huge. And also the fact that, I think if Suzaku hadn't wasted so much money on the Obelisk, He would have had enough money to make more tick tanks to hold pads or more phantoms to kill the air units. So yeah, I think the obelisk was just a misplay. It does take the harvester kill here though with the burrowed tick tank, and makes another obelisk with the bounty money. Again, I just don't see this obelisk doing very much. It's not very effective against infantry squads. It maybe kill one missile trooper squad in the whole time it's alive.
And again, the Phantom not
hang
killing
on, maybe
Mohawk
not.
there while it was on the tick tank the whole time.
Obelisk does get a hitball kill, which is actually pretty relevant here. SRPSS does not get on the pads in time, and Suzaku takes it.
That was insanely close to a flip.
Yeah, that was really close to a flip.
He was getting on all the pads in the next, quarter second or something.
All right, and this means that Suzaku proceeds to the finals. And SRPSS versus Sinkiller for the losers bracket finals. Here we are with the losers bracket finals, Sinkiller versus SRPSS. The winner of this will go on to face Suzaku in a best of 5, where Suzaku starts 1-0 up by virtue of being in the winners bracket.
3, 2, 1.
So SRPSS is bringing again his 4 War Factory deck. Very surprised to this. This is a very good Borka map, so very surprised to see SRPSS not bringing Orca Bomber to it. And Sinkiller has gone for his 2-2-2 deck again. A lot better on this map than it was on the previous one, because Slingshot is going to be way better here. Although SRPSS has no air units, so actually Slingshot is not going to be better at all.
I think the stealth tank here is really going to... Mohawk is a critical unit for him. And the stealth tank one-shotting Mohawk is going to be pretty big.
I agree. I think that SRPSS is heavily favored in this matchup simply because the stealth tank actually kills everything apart from the infantry.
And that's the problem with Mohawk.
Yep.
You can't chase anything with it. Like, he just microed the bikes there and lost 1 bike for the Mohawk.
Yep. That is the problem. That is exactly it. The problem with Mohawk is you can't. It's a very defensive unit, so the stealth tank is always going to be capable of driving up to it and killing it, and because stealth tank one-shots it. Honestly, Mohawk is an extremely powerful unit that is, like, the only reason it doesn't see significantly more play in the metagame is that stealth tank, it just hard counters it. And any Mohawk deck is normally heavily based around the Mohawk. Bikes are just so powerful. Bikes are such a strong unit.
He's using laser or the GDI drone here to spam to stall, but he doesn't get anything on the... I think he ran out of money as far as building units that could actually fight.
Yeah.
Because he's spending money to stall with the drones.
I mean, we're talking about how the stealth tank shuts down Sinkiller's deck, but actually SRPSS has killed everything with just bikes and Chem Buggy so far. It's just, I really just think this game is a prime example of how bikes are way too strong, because they're just beating everything. And Sinkiller could go War Factory, but bikes would beat all of his units in the War Factory as well. So yeah, jump jets, like Chem Buggy plus bike, really can kill all 6 of Sinkiller's units.
Well, my game just crashed, so you're gonna have to finish this one.
Yeah, I mean, Sinkiller is completely locked out, I think. SRPSS has total pad control. The Chem Buggy's killing everything. Sinkiller can't even make Harvester here. Bike's just killed everything this game. And Sinkiller does get pretty well smushed. Which means our finals is going to be SRPSS versus Suzaku. Alright, here we are with the first match of the finals. Suzaku starts 1-0 up because he won the winner's bracket. That's why he already has a match win. It's going to be best of 5. Suzaku takes on SRPSS. And Suzaku is playing Jade, SRPSS Liang. I suspect we'll see Borka from SRPSS again. And Suzaku brings his classic Nod Jade Chems deck. Surprised to see this one, given that he's had such good success with the Tic Tank deck.
Yeah, I'm surprised too by the... it seems like SRPSS built a deck around countering the Jade deck.
Yeah.
And then he opened missiles.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like he's got the Rhino, which is strong. He's got the Borka, which is strong. He's got the Slingshot, which is strong. And then he opens missiles, which are just absolutely terrible in the matchup. Also, his barracks only has anti-vehicle units. It's missiles grenadiers. So yeah, really, really bad. If you know, even if like when you see Suzaku play Jade, I think you just need to predict it's this deck, right? And you should open Rhino.
Yeah, I mean, he only has like 800 games of this on ladder
Yeah,
this season, so.
Probably more. All right, so Suzaku does take the first missile pretty comfortably. I think simply because SRPSS opened with his barracks. I put Suzaku way ahead. And Suzaku now could go for the base kill. I mean, he's got the first missile. He's playing the Jade deck. I wouldn't be surprised to see him even go like double Harvester and just go super hard on the base. But we're not seeing that at all. Suzaku is choosing to fight a regular game still.
Yeah, it seems like maybe the Rhinos are making him hesitant.
Yeah, maybe.
To the base.
But the thing is, like, it doesn't matter about Rhinos, right? Because you don't need to get chems there. If you go double Harvester, you can just play the triple cat missile, the base plan.
Seen, personally playing against Suzaku, I've never seen him do that go ham strat.
Yeah, I don't think he likes doing it. I think he prefers to play the game.
He plays more controlled.
Yeah. I really think he's leaving some equity on the table by not doing it though. Because you can see how far behind he is now that SRPSS has unlocked his war factory and his barracks. Like, he simply isn't beating these bikes. He isn't beating these war factory units.
Yeah, the Liang drone with the Rhino Pitbull is just basically killing all the bikes that he could make.
Rhino Liang is very strong. If you don't have tank to kill it, it's very strong. And I think Suzaku is misplaying by not just going for that base kill. And it's probably too late now. You can't, like, if you have 2 missiles time, you have enough time to throw cat missiles at the base and win. But with only 1, I don't think it's enough. And here we're seeing Liang's secret broken mode, which is healing war factory units.
Yeah. intended broken use.
Yeah.
So
bikes simply do not have the DPS to remove the healed pitbulls, and you can see once the Liang drone is down, Suzaku's making progress and he's pushing forwards on SRPSS's units, because without the Liang drone you can win with the bikes, but with the Liang drone, oh, here comes a cat missile, very nice with the cloud, but does lose his chems by accident. I think he was trying to preserve them there, but bikes are quicker than anything SRPSS has. Oh, he lets him on the pad though. I think if he blocked that pitbull he would have been in much better shape. Oh, he blocks the bottom. SRPSS doesn't have air. This could be missile. SRPSS takes it back, and it is missile for Suzaku. And Suzaku takes the game with a very nice Jade missile there. Alright, and that brings Suzaku to 2-0. Alright, guys, here we are. Match point for the Coliseum finals. Suzaku is 2-0 on SRPSS in a best of 5. If Suzaku wins this, that's it. He's done. He wins. SRPSS needs this one to keep it going. And SRPSS is back on his true comfort deck, the Rhino Pitbull Borka deck. And Suzaku is playing an absolutely wild one. Sniper Slingshot.
Yeah, I think that he's basically brought this for the Borka deck. He's trying to counter this deck. I don't know if this is the deck to do it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree that it kind of makes sense that Suzaku would be trying to counter the Borka deck, and the snipers obviously allow him to beat up on the infantry. The Predator lets him beat the War Factory, and then the Talon and the Slingshot hopefully lets him beat Borka. But it's going to be tough, man. Slingshot doesn't really beat Borka 1v1. That's probably why he has Talons as well, to give even more support. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. These Predators are going to be very, very good for Suzaku, I think. Predator in front of Sniper is going to be unbreakable unless SRPSS goes into Borka. So yeah, that's going to have to be SRPSS's play, and then Suzaku is ready with the Talons, I imagine. Interesting that we see him kill the Rhino there instead of the Pitbull. I think killing the Pitbull would have made way more sense. Predator does 2-shot a Pitbull.
I believe it 2-shots Rhino too as well. They're the same HP.
Yeah, I think so. That's why Predator's going to be just insane in this matchup. Because it kills these vehicles so quickly. And yeah, Suzaku basically takes the first missile off the back of Predator, just killing everything SRPSS makes.
And he can't, all the infantry coming in is just getting destroyed. You know, the snipers have survived. I don't even, is this still his first sniper squad?
Yep, first sniper squad hasn't even taken damage, I don't think. And SRPSS is trying to counter these Predators with missile Pitbull. That's just not going to work. I think SRPSS needed to plan to tech switch into Borka a lot sooner than this.
Unit lost.
Like, you can beat Scorpions with Pitbulls 2v1, you can't beat Predators with Pitbulls 2v1. Predator is way too beefy and 2 shots instead of 3 shotting.
Unit lost.
SRPSS, I think, is just scrambling here. He needs a Borka, but he just doesn't have time.
Unit ready.
And I think we might see a very quick win from Suzaku off the back of Predator tanks.
Unit lost.
And we do. And SRPSS concedes before the missile. So there you have it, guys. Suzaku brings Predator tank. And really just SRPSS never gets his win condition of Borka out. And that means Suzaku is the grand champion. Congratulations, Suzaku. The October Coliseum champion takes down SRPSS, who is usually the absolute dominant player in Coliseum.
Yeah, that was very well done. It's a dominating performance. I think he only had 1 loss on the day.
He did. He had one loss, and it was to Alarak.